Ooh. Good Sunday morning, and welcome to another episode of Say That Shit. I'm your host, Prof G, and I'm joined by the lovely ladies of the Midwest, Miss Bryce and Angie, aka Toledo. How are you ladies doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Good, good. So let's just dive right in. The topic this morning is Black marriage. The question: if Black men are so afraid of commitment, why are they marrying at a higher rate than Black women? Ladies, what do you say?
Because it was systemically designed for us to fail.
Oh, wow. Do tell.
Whoa, she just going in deep.
Hey, let's get it. Let's get to it. So elaborate. What do you mean?
I mean, since slavery, they definitely designed us to fail in any instance when we thrive in, from getting the biggest, baddest Black male in the field and breaking them down, bucking them.
But the statistics don't necessarily say that, because Black men are not only are Black men marrying at a higher rate of women, statistically, the gap between them marrying outside of their race isn't as great as one might think. Black men at a very high rate are marrying in their race, so they're not marrying outside their race. So
yeah, because it also stated that Black men making 100K or more are more likely to marry a Black woman than to marry outside.
So what else do you think may contribute to this phenomenon, if you will?
I think that, especially speaking for someone my age, thinking that, we normally, if you have not been married before, we tend to be set in our ways. You know what I'm saying? Where even if we did get married, it's still going to fail. But I think it's just more we're trying to get married later in life, expectations.
Yeah.
And like I said, most people are just set in how they want to do things at 47 years old,
Right. Okay, I got a question from a whole nother angle. What role, if any, has the LGBT community played in Black marriages? And that's not me. I'm not anti-gay or anything of that nature. I'm just, it's a legitimate question. So what role do you think, if any, has that played in the decline of Black marriages, especially among women?
I don't know. I don't think that has any, like.
Why wouldn't it? Doesn't that take
off the market?
Right, exactly. That takes women out of the pool for a man, because now she's in a relationship with a woman. And again, I'm not knocking it. I love who you love, but just factually and numerically, that's a woman taken off the market. So that's one less Black woman that's going to get married because she's in a gay and lesbian relationship. Again, nothing against it.
I don't know. For me personally, I didn't think that really had too much to do with it. I mean,
but wouldn't you agree that subtracts from the—
yeah, it subtracts, but
absolutely.
that's just, I mean, that could just be the same for a Black man marrying a white woman. That takes another Black man off the market for a Black woman.
Absolutely. And I'm, because my recollection of it, and I have my notes, the difference between Black men marrying white women and Black women marrying white men was like 5%. 9% of all of the Black men who are married, 9% marry white women, and 5% of Black women marry, 4% of Black women marry white men. So, it's not a great disparity there, although men do at a higher rate, but overwhelmingly Black men marry Black women. And I think that's another
Speaking to your point, is how it relates is even in the LGBTQ, 58% of same-sex marriages between Black people in that community are female.
So yeah, there you go. Interesting. Interesting.
So yeah, I mean,
So do you think, I got another question for you. Does social media in any way play a role in just how we view marriage, or find a mate? What do you think that plays a role in it in any way?
Absolutely.
So I agree. So how do you see it? In what ways do you see that social media plays a role in it?
so for me, I think it just opened the door for options. Everyone understands even more than they did before. And then your options are not just within your community anymore. Your options are regional, national, you know what I'm saying? You just have options.
You can move, absolutely you can. It's almost like being at a human buffet. It's like, yeah. When you go
to the purge.
whatever. But think about it. Imagine when you go to a buffet and you see all this different food.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I want some of that. Oh, damn, that looks pretty good. I want some of that. I want some of that. Same premise.
A question off of that, because if you're saying like a Black woman going and being lesbian is taken away from the pool, then what happens when you break up with somebody and everybody say, oh, there's a million fish in the sea?
So run that by me one more time.
Yeah.
When you know how you said that there's a million, a Black woman being in a lesbian relationship is taken away from the dating pool, but
Right.
then someone breaks up and then they're saying like, oh, well, don't worry about it. It's a million people in the sea.
Yeah. Well, that,
a million fish in the sea.
Yeah,
I think that's just something to make you feel better. I don't know.
That's just a cliche. I mean, that's not necessarily factual. So that's just a cliche, or like Angie said, something to make you feel better. But and again, I'm not faulting it. It's just numbers.
The reality, let me throw something out there that I heard, and I'm gonna see. It was talking about her fingernails, and they're saying, hey, when you walk up to a woman and she has those coffin nails, those long ass nails, or the stiletto nails, whatever the case may be, you immediately turn certain guys off, or they get an impression of you, whether you could be a physicist for all they know. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that is like, they're saying, okay, some guys, the quality ones that you might be looking for, might be doing a U-turn a little bit because they see your outward appearance.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would imagine that happens. Yeah, both ways. A brother who may not, who, like you said, who may be a very professional brother, a doctor, physicist, press, whatever, but just when you see him out at any given moment, he may not look the part, if you will. And so a chick would be like, oh no, and it's like, sweetie, he is the one, you just don't know it. And so to your point, I'm sure there are guys that may do that. And now to what degree or what percentage, I don't know, but I'm sure it happens. Absolutely it does. So.
No, I'm saying that the fact that we as women can't always say that someone's intimidated.
Got you. I got you.
Other than the fact that we're coming off a certain kind, because we put the thing where he just intimidated, or my, right. Whatever,
right.
Type of thing. No, it's probably some energy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We're on the lines of, we're speaking on Black marriages, relationships, but you got to speak on what actually leads up to that, that marriage, or that quality person, as people like to say now,
So I got a question, because as I thought about this topic, what's the difference between because to me, there's a thin line between settling and being willing to compromise. Because I hear a lot, especially sisters, again, I'm a brother, so I hear from that I'm not gonna settle, I'm not gonna settle. So when does not settling actually become an unwillingness to compromise? And I think we all would acknowledge that in a relationship, there's gonna have to be some give and take.
I mean,
Well,
what
how
are
much
your real hard lines for real? That because that's where you're gonna start. What are your hard lines for real?
What were you
You
saying,
know what I'm
Bryce?
saying? Huh?
No, I was asking Bryce, what was she saying?
well, how much can you constantly give if you don't want to? Like you give and give and give and give and give and give, and there's no reciprocation.
Right. And everyone does have a breaking point. So that's
But I'm saying, what are your hard lines? Like, okay, my hard lines are, he has to have a job and he has to be able to provide, or he has to be faithful, or he has to be respect. What are your hard lines? Because those soft lines can be moved. The hard lines, yes, you have to be employed.
gotcha.
Whether self-employed or employed by a corporation, I don't care. So there's hard lines where, okay, this is
Not even self-employed.
I think that people have made the soft lines hard lines.
Right.
Like, how is this a hard line where you like, nope?
Yeah, that's definitely a factor.
And then everyone just has their looks, their personal, like, okay, I want someone to look like this, I want this, it's just getting to the point where no one's going to fit anyone's criteria.
Exactly.
At all, ever
right.
in this world. So we could keep fooling ourselves and going through these circles and all this stuff, but we got so many expectations, they're never going to be met.
So
to be honest,
I've been accused of not wanting to, I'm an issue, a red flag for me was because of my desire to continue to live in the community I live in, even though I can afford to live anywhere I choose. And I've heard that on more than one occasion, to be quite honest, because I choose to stay in my community and help preserve the community I knew growing up. And because there are a whole lot of different stereotypes about living in the hood that are so untrue. So I said all that.
Like I just said, they made that a hard line.
Right.
When that really, was that really wanna, because really, I mean, to be honest, come on, we can get you guys to do almost anything the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I could have moved in that community in a couple of years. We've been moving out, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, just
quite possible. But to my point, it be like superficial bullshit.
Yeah.
That stops people from really connecting and engaging, and it goes on both sides. So it's not like I'm picking on women. It's just as a dude who, heterosexual.
But you can only speak on really your experience.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So, hey.
Right.
So you think superficial reasons is the reasons why we're not getting married or staying married?
Some of it, is that the total reason? No, but is that some of it? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
I would think so.
My perception is, what I said in the beginning, was how we were systemically engineered to fail. Like, even if it's through police brutality and working long hours and being put in red line areas, like how you said you live in the hood and you want to preserve it, that's fine. But if you look at it, that's still a red line area that was placed there for us to fail. So when someone's looking at it, they're looking at it like, okay, this is a place for me to fail. I can't thrive here. I need to go somewhere else.
And they're looking at it as if they're taking a step back.
But and that's when I spoke to it earlier. that's this misperception, because when you actually come to the hood now, and I am speaking specifically my community, when you come to it, that's where all the growth is. That's where all the money is. Actually, people are trying to move in there, but if you're not paying attention to it and you're just going off of this,
Gentrification, yeah.
right. Now, is that happening? Absolutely. But if you have strong community leadership, which a lot of the Black communities here in the greater Houston area do, some don't, many do, and those of us that do, oh no, you can't come over, even though you come in there trying to take property. Not happening. We know the law. We know what we need to do to maintain our property. And then those who are coming into our communities and building, they not building. The property values are going up. So to be honest with you, it's thriving in the hood, and that's what people don't understand. It's not this run down, trodden down environment. Much the contrary. But if you're not,
that's good and bad with the property value going up, because if some people can't afford it, then they're gonna have to move somewhere else. And if they can find work to meet the property value, then they can stay. So I mean, that's a good and bad situation.
Absolutely. And again, we have our community have things in place to help those, to make sure that they don't, because we know the game. It's always, a lot of my neighbors are my homeboys and homegirls' parents, so they're much older than me, and so they're not there by accident, you know. So these people, they know. Now, are there areas where that what you're saying is happening and it needs to be addressed? Absolutely, but fortunately, that's not happening in large amounts in the area where I live. It did initially when it caught people off guard and they weren't educated about things. But right about now, it's you're gonna have to come at us in a different way now. I got another.
Like I said, I mean, you really can't. I mean, I can't tell you what should be important to you.
Right. Oh,
you know what I'm saying, in a relationship. But I can say that certain things that, you know, people might say, might, you know, to me be kind of superficial. But also at the same time, I'm not taking a 50-year-old man and trying to build him up either.
No, oh, absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? You get the Facebook posts that say stuff like, you know, are you willing to build a man up? And I'm thinking at this age, I'm not, no.
What did you say, Bryce?
I was saying, like, you want to live in the hood and walk around on the corner and you doing all kind of crazy stuff instead of trying to build yourself up. Now, if you want to get built up from already being good, like you doing things out here to make moves and you want me to help you build with that, that's different.
Right. Yep, exactly.
But if you want me to build you from the bottom,
right.
I mean,
and she's saying that as a millennial.
Right. Oh no, it makes that's
she's in her 20s, so she has time to build with someone from the bottom, you know.
Real travels, you know what I mean? Real travels. So real is, and no matter what generation you come from, real is real. And that's some real shit. Like at this stage of the game, like Bryce said, if you got some things going on and basically you're saying, hey, will you know, do you have my back? Will you help support me in my endeavors? Absolutely, because I'm gonna do the same thing for you if you got something going on. But if
you saying, yeah, I gotta help you get your driver's license.
Yeah, but if you're from the bottom, it's like, come on, dog. Oh no, I ain't gonna be able to do that one.
No, I can't do all that.
And it's like, no.
Well, that's like the movie with Taraji P. Henson. Who's wrong in that situation? Like, was it her being wrong or was it him? When he finally became successful after living off of her.
Well, now hold on. Oh, now, Taraji was crazy, you know that. Taraji was crazy as hell, you know that.
Wow.
But here's the thing.
He was sick and tired.
And I get it. And he begged her to. You saw the movie. He begged her to stay with him. He said, "Baby, just believe in me." And she couldn't go all the way, apparently, obviously. So she said, "No, I can't do it." And life is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
She really wasn't down with better for
I want to expand on that because she couldn't go all the way, but at the same time, she was put in several positions where it's like, why do I keep going all this way with you?
I guarantee you, if them sisters of hers hadn't been in her damn ear, she would have stayed with that man, and she would have stayed with that man, and she wouldn't have went through all that shit. But she listening to them heifers who ain't got their shit together, you know.
And they always most times single.
Yep. So hey,
giving you advice.
I like for better or for worse, she couldn't handle the worst. Even though
but that's blaming it. I feel like that's blaming it on the woman too. Like it's not her fault that she didn't want to just stay and sit around and wait for a miracle to happen.
Are you not responsible for your decisions? Are you not responsible for your decisions? Good, bad, or indifferent?
Absolutely.
So if me too. So if I couldn't handle my woman and she was like, baby, just wait, it's gonna be all right. And I'm like, I can't do it. And I say, fuck it and leave. And then she blow up. And I'm like, well, damn, baby, you wait a minute. It's like, nigga, you told me to go. You told me to bounce.
And that story is based on so many stories that have happened the same way. You know, real life stories. You know, hey, you couldn't hang in any longer.
And how long am I supposed to break my back until you? How long am I supposed to break my back until you finally make it?
And that's the thing. She made the decision to go. That was her, and for her in her best interest at that moment.
Because go ahead.
In the long term, she wished she probably had stayed.
And so again, that's the dilemma you find yourself in. A person would find themselves in, Bryce. It's like, what am I willing to take? How far am I willing to go? Do I really believe, or am I so beat down mentally or emotionally that it's like I can't take anymore? And with the understanding that, look, that shit could pop, but right now, and whether do or don't, I can't take it anymore. And she got to that point. I still say, had she not had her sisters in her ear, all that outside noise, perhaps things would have turned out a lot differently, you know. So, and he was real with her, and it became real. Come on, you saw the movie. He came so real to her when he came back at her, gave up, made her a millionaire.
He was real from the beginning to the end, but you know that's not the case in a lot of situations because he even tried to cast her out.
Right.
In the end.
But even the other movie with Taraji and what's his name, when her mother was in her ear about her marriage, she almost let her marriage. You know,
which one was this?
It was Morris Chestnut.
Okay.
And Taraji and her mother, she had gotten hurt, and her mom came and stayed with them.
Yeah.
And she never liked the husband, and she was letting her mother anyway. She ended up putting him out because the mother said he's not doing enough with his life and all this, and you carrying the weight and all this. So she ends up putting him out. You know, he ends up seeing someone else. She gets upset. Like, what?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
That's a weak-minded person, then. I mean, if you have your people that sit at your table.
A lot of people, and not just women, like Nelson gonna say, a lot of people let their boys get in their ear.
Yeah.
And they let their girls get in their ear, or their mothers, or these single women, and most time it's single people.
So the last like question, fact or thing that I ran across. So all racial ethnic groups had more marriages than divorces except blacks. And among blacks, only black women had a higher divorce rate than marriage rate. So they were getting, black women, they calling it quits more than they get married. And again, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but it's like,
it's something that I want to talk about, but it's going to be expanded at another time. And it's the mother of the man.
Okay.
And it's the emotional incest that comes with. That's another part of it too. Like,
that's deep.
Since we are already systemically engineered to fail, we are already in a single parent household. So the mother views the son as the husband, so it become hard to separate from each
right.
other.
Hey, I just wrote, that's some deep shit.
I
That's
can't find my pen. I was like, write that down.
No, I wrote it down. I wrote that shit down. That's gonna be a topic. That's real. Emotional incest. Damn, that's real. And I've never heard it put that way.
I mean, I mean, I was at work and I asked multiple people, I'm like, so, because I saw Marlon Wayans or something, he said that he never got married because no woman was his number one but his mother. And that is absolutely ridiculous.
I would agree. I would agree. And and when it happens with the woman.
I don't want to talk too much about it now because that's a whole nother.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're gonna leave that right there. Damn, you just threw one in there. So yeah, coming to the next podcast near you, emotional incest. Oh my God, that's a pretty deep one. Well, ladies, it's been a pleasure. Miss Bryce. So how's it going? It looks like the sun is shining where you are.
It is. I'm still in my car.
Okay.
She's on the side of the road.
What is the temperature like?
It's 35, but it feels like 60.
Oh, that's what's up. You know, I'm not gonna talk about the temperature here. Angie will call me a punk because I can't, you know.
He gonna say something crazy like it's a 55 degrees.
No, 55.
Yeah, 55 degrees.
Hold on, let me a second.
They can still record.